In this video, we took on the absolute Ghee division at CXBJJ. I'm only 160 pounds. My final opponent weighed in over 50 pounds more than I did, and trust me, he definitely used it. Before facing Kyle, we have to overcome the obstacles of 3 tough opponents. Let's jump right into round 1. Off the bat, I sit onto my heel and start to hunt for an ankle pick. George defends, and then I hit a snap single leg, and he does what I thought was an illegal scissor takedown, but because he didn't fully lock his legs together, it was clean. We get reset and I recover to half guard. As George tries to over underpass, I shoot onto a triangle. However, because his posture was too high, I fall right onto my head. Down 2 points, I need to make something happen, so I jump onto a hip bump sweep, but in the process, I nearly get my back taken, and things take a turn for the worst. George fully locks onto a bow and arrow choke. I just barely escape, and as he goes to roll into a different position, I duck my head and land in top side control. However, because he fell to bottom off of an attack, I don't get the points for a sweep, and time is running out fast. I shoot onto a Kimura grip and start hunting for his back. Eventually, after a very tense minute, I insert my hooks and gain 4 points. Just as time is running out, I attack an armbar. George escapes and then sits back on my ankle. However, the match ends just in time.
Were you worried?
A little bit. As long as I stay calm, I can come back. So.
After winning the medium heavyweight division, we both head over to the first match of the absolutes. After seeing the power of that sweep in the first round, I sit to half guard and start to attack your day 1 half guard sweep. I trap his leg between mine and drive forward to secure the first 2 points of the round. I then dive in for a knee cut. However, I wasn't aware of the grip he had on my back and stalled my pass for a second too long, which caused me to get swept. I frame away and recover to half guard to start attacking the same sweep again. George is keen to it this time, so as he drives forward, I plant my shin in front of his and elevate him into single X. I'll then shove him back down to regain top position. I attack the knee slice once again, this time being wary of the sweep. To prevent this, I flare my elbow and make sure I finish the pass before he locks onto that grip. George catches me with my hips high and leaps onto my back. Luckily, I feel the pressure relieve for a 1/10 of a second and I'm able to sit back out to guard. I grab a lasso grip and sweep him once more. George launches onto a triangle, but there's absolutely no way I'm getting caught in my own move. The round ends with a 10-point lead and sends us to face the wrestler of the blue belt division. As we get going, I shoot down for an ankle pick. After missing, I learned that this was not a wrestling war that I could win and get ankle picked myself. Now playing guard, I need to do one of 2 things. Either pull Jonathan off his base or get under his base. As he starts to make grips, I weave my right leg behind his knee and then throw my left leg under his hip as well. I'll use this to elevate him similarly to our no-gi match. However, this time he returns with a heavy sprawl, negating my ability to elevate him. As Jonathan starts to attack a double unders pass, I counter with an origatami. This will negate his attack because I attach all my weight onto his shoulder, making it incredibly difficult to pull me off the ground. I also use it to pull his left arm out from under my leg and start to work my submission. Firstly, I grab my shin and pull it right over his neck. As Jonathan postures up, I use that as an opportunity to let my lock slide down onto his shoulder. Then to stop him from exploding, I underhook the leg opposite of my triangle. With his arm isolated because of the angle, I hip in to secure a triangle armbar. And now with 3 wins, we move on to face the final boss in the gi for the day, Kyle. Kyle and I start by staring each other down, trying to analyze one another before we engage. We grip up and I pull him into close guard. I unlock my guard and throw in a lasso grip, but Kyle drives forward for a double unders pass. Using the same origatami technique from the last round, I weave my arm under and hold on for dear life. After a few seconds, Kyle ends up dragging me back to the center. We go in circles as he attempts to lift me up, but by locking down on the origatami and making my hips heavy by flaring my legs outwards, it's extremely difficult. However, as time goes on, my grips start to weaken. I let go for only a few seconds, and before I knew it, my defenses were plowed through, and Kyle moves me into turtle. With a heavy chop of his knee to tilt me over, he nearly locks up onto my back. I managed to sneak past his hook, but not without getting manhandled into side control. I know I have to take an enormous risk in order to escape this position, so I start to expose my back in hopes that I can use that to scramble out. As he starts to throw in his hooks, I hop over his right leg and weave my right leg behind it, giving me just enough time to return to his closed guard. The first time I stand up, I nearly get taken down with a waiter sweep, but I drive back into Kyle and stay on top position. It's absolutely essential that I don't fall back on bottom, or it would for sure be game over. I stand back up once more, and it takes every muscle fiber in my upper body to break Kyle's close guard. By a miracle, I manage to shrug off the tree trunks and I fall into half guard. If I thought it couldn't get any worse, Kyle's half guard is super tight, and I can barely even stand up to try to break it. As I do though, he underhooks my leg, and while it may look like a bad position, this is exactly what I needed. I hop my leg over his head and jump out of his guard. I tried my absolute hardest, but Kyle forced me back into half guard, and with 0 gas in the tank, 5 seconds left, that concludes the Ghee Absolute Finals. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button, and if you guys enjoyed this type of content, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified from my recent videos. Now, I have had a few people ask me to release the raw rolling footage, so if that's something you're interested in, head over to my second channel, Carsahh BJJ Rolls. The link is in the description.
Hell yeah. Oh shit, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry.